Welcome to That Sunna Feeling, the podcast where beauty meets ambition, hosted by Brandi and Shannelle, the founders of Sunna.
Here we peel back the layers of the beauty industry, offering insider tips, business strategies, and personal stories that inspire and educate you on the path to success in your spray tanning, teeth whitening, and beauty business.
Whether you're dreaming of launching your own venture, looking to expand your revenue streams, or simply curious about what goes into our products, we're here to guide you each step of the way.
From the fundamentals of picking your very first spray tan machine to building an empire from the ground up.
That Sunna Feeling is your go-to source for business motivation and knowledge.
Episode 3 coming at you. The art of old school business. And then I like to add in there, not leaving it up to the post and pray method. This is something that I think if you build a business on some old school principles and foundations, even in this digital age, and this is coming from the girl that leveraged technology, that used tech, but you know what? It's all about those foundations and those principles. And it's the number one mistake that I see anybody starting up in any business, whether it's spray tan, beauty business. And we see a lot of our Sunna spray tan artists really excited to come into Sunna, take the training. And we do offer a ton of marketing resources for them to set up their Instagram and get going fast. And it's all there. It's, really beautiful content. And I call it the post and pray because they just kind of post it, put it out there, and then nothing happens. And this is really where you need to, get inside your business and start making things happen using some of these old school techniques. So I know that, Shannelle, you're an expert at this. I know that I would say I'm an expert, but we've built our businesses using these things. And really what it ends up being is all about building that community, right?
Yeah. Well, and I want to say, I don't want to say that we don't think that posting on social media and using technology isn't a good thing. It just, you have to do everything because for it all to work, you can't just rely on one piece of it. I think that's the best.
And it's utilizing it. It's utilizing all the things as tools. And that's what's so great is that, nowadays we do have these tools but we can't get complacent about it. Right. And you almost kind of stuck in this rat race and this wheel of, oh, I got to post today. I got to post today. I got to post today. But you actually forget why you're posting. You get more on the you got to post versus, okay, well, why am I posting? What's the purpose behind this? And so this is kind of, peeling back the layers a little bit, talking about, okay, we have these tools and we have such a great advantage nowadays with all of these tools. And we should absolutely be using them. But how can we, take a step back and really use these old school business tactics? So Shannelle, let's just kind of bring it back to some of the things that you were thinking of when you were like, let's talk about, the art of old school business.
Well, I feel like people are missing out on the fastest and easiest and most affordable way to grow their business. And that's actually talking to people. And that's making connection. And that can happen in the DMs, yes. But honestly, the real magic happens face to face. A little bit of karma, I guess, and was what I'm kind of saying too is you want someone to support your business. Are you supporting other people's businesses? You want people to leave you a review. Are you leaving other people reviews? You have to put the energy out to receive it. So, are you visiting local businesses that you love, that you have so much synergy with? Are you supporting them? Are you getting to know them? Are you offering them your services so they can see how great and amazing you are? And this is complimentary. I did so much of that. Hey, can I spray tan you free of charge? And I would, we would have an hour and a half conversation. And by the end, we had so many ideas of how we could collaborate and who they were going to refer me to and vice versa. It's not being shy and putting yourself out there. Honestly, what's the worst that can happen is somebody either says no to you or you just don't feel the love, and that's okay. Move on. Get involved in your community. Share other people's content, would be just as like another example. And another thing that I did that, so many people get caught up on this, don't give anything away for free, but I gave away a lot for free, like tans, which was my time and minimal product. But let's say somebody booked a tan, I would say, hey, do you have a friend that you also would love to try? My spray tan, bring them. I'll tan them for free, 2 for 1. Guess what would happen? That friend would fall in love. She would book her next spray tan. She would book a spray tan party. She would tell 6 of her friends, girlfriends at work. All those girls were booking with me the next couple weeks. Like, get more bodies, in front of you. But to back that up, you also have to be creating a really good experience for someone. And 50% of that experience is how you make that person feel comfortable, heard, you're engaging with them. The other 50% is obviously that your tan is bomb, your pre, your post, you're making that person feel fabulous. The follow up, right? Making sure that they're happy with their tan a couple of days later. That also has to be there. You can't just like network, and then spray tan them in 5 minutes and be like, deuces, see you later, good luck, and not create any kind of experience and connection as well.
Yeah, it's really, what, I think you've hit the nail on the head. It's the connection that you create. And what I love about the beauty industry and what I love about spray tanning is that one-on-one connection, especially with spray tanning. It's such a vulnerable service. And such an opportunity to create that connection, create that relationship, and take that time. Like, when I say post and pray, so for example, if you have a promotion that's going on, what I find really interesting is a lot of people like to hide behind the keyboard, post on social media, hey, we've got this promotion, send an email, put it on their website. But when they're right in front of them, do they bring it up? No. And that is and you can't assume that they've seen everything, because most people, 4% of your followers actually see what you post on social media if you're lucky. And then those people need reminding because we're so busy, we're so bombarded. And so that's the opportunity. It's like, okay, when you create these things in your business and you're creating some promotions or things that you want your clients to know about, you have to take that opportunity. They're right there in front of you to talk to them about it. Right?
Yeah. And plan if you have a promotion coming up next month, tell them, hey, next month I have this promotion. These are all the things we're running at the end of their appointment, at the beginning of their appointment. You're so right. Like, we don't want to communicate. We don't want to talk anymore. Just like, don't make people feel like they're cattle. Create those relationships, and just spending that little extra time will build so much loyalty in your business.
And I think it's interesting because, I mean, you and I started off in it starts with one client. That was always my thing, is one client and that person in front of you. And one of the things I used to actually do, and I really attribute this to the growth of my business, is every single time that I opened that door to my client, I literally did this invisible cleanse, and just took a deep breath, and it was like, it's not about me. It's about my client in front of me, and just took everything that I had, just one-on-one with that one person. And I also spent a little extra time with them too. So I know that's one big thing. Everybody wants to build this crazy business and get people in every 15 minutes. And yeah, eventually you'll get there. You have to take the time in the beginning, really build those foundations. And then you'll eventually get to that point where you are seeing a client every 15 minutes. But you have to start building those skills right from the beginning in, talking about promotions, talking about, and learning all of the little things in the tan room, or whatever service industry that you're in. It's like, the more that you do it, the better you get. And the more you realize, the impact that you can have, and, how you can really, create an incredible experience for your customer.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
And we have an episode just on that, just on the experience and how to create that magical experience for your clients.
So it's interesting because Shannelle and I, we often say this because we've been out of the service piece of the business for a few years. I mean, obviously we were in that we were one-on-one with clients. We built our businesses to 6, 7 figures. And then we moved online and focused solely on Sana. And so we often feel like we can't relate to what our stockists or our startup businesses are just because we've been out of it. But then when we really step back and take a look and say, okay, what are some of the things that we did to build our business and would they still work today? And there's quite a few things that would still work. I mean, we had social media back then. It was maybe slightly different. Obviously, like it was the beginning of the social media age, so the algorithms were much
Honestly,
more.
it was better. Like now I feel like you need to lean in more on these old school things where before you could post and actually 80% of people that followed you would see your post. Now it doesn't work like that anymore. So actually now you need to lean into more of these old school ways.
So, Chanel, do you have some examples, some things like how you built your business? What are some of the things that people could do now?
Mine was honestly straight up. Yes, I was consistent on social media, but it was just, I honestly, I don't want to call it overnight success, but I did get very busy very quickly. Like I was one of those people that within a few months, it was a full-time gig for me. It was just connecting with as many people as I could.
When I look back at when I started, I got busy very quickly as well. But I also, kind of took a page out of your book in that even when I was training. So one of the very first things I practiced on over 20 to 30 bodies. I know that there's a lot of girls that get started now, and they're only practicing on a few. But one of the things is it was really an investment in my business because I chose influential kind of like networkers in my city. And so I'd say, oh, they were practice and trial tens and all of that. But then people would see them out in the city and be like, oh my gosh, you look amazing. Where did you go? Like, did you go on a trip? And they're like, no, I saw Brandi. So that's, and that was, again, it's very similar, just slightly different. But like, I really just, gave it away and really started connecting with people. And again, creating that premium service obviously helped. But I will say, I mean, bringing it back to all of the tools that we have now. I mean, yeah, like a lot of the same things that I did back then, I would continue to do. I mean, following clients, like your own clients on social media, connecting with them there, um, engagement. I mean, I spent hours engaging with lots of different people that was, and it eventually became to the point where I wasn't tanning and I was doing all of that engagement and online stuff. And then I had my client or my staff doing that for me. But really, it was creating those connections and bringing things into the DMs. And maybe now, knowing what I know a little bit more about DMs and strategies and getting people to come in and book quicker, I would probably focus a lot of my energy there. But really, it's about the same thing. And you're just having genuine conversations with people. The other things I would do that I know a lot of people really struggle with is continuing to follow up with your customer and asking for photos, asking to be tagged, sending them reminders. Hey, because here's the thing. I think what's really cool is that you do get to experience a relationship in the tan room and you get to know them. And a lot of the time, these people are coming for events, special events, and important events in their life that you get to be a part of. And so really it's nothing to be afraid of by saying, you know what, like, hey, how was your vacation? Like, send me a photo, like, amazing. Like that bathing suit's killer. You're not lying. These are relationships. Hey, can I share this post? And they say no. I mean, how many times people said no to me? But
Never,
and that's
never,
okay.
never, ever. If you're posting it, you want it to be seen. Let's be honest. If you're posting it, you don't care who sees it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But those are some of the things that I did. I also did a ton of lives, which when you talk about like leveraging um, technology and social media and really thinking about community building, and that's really ultimately what social media is. It's supposed to be used for community building. So like, let's just give the people what they want. And I did a ton of lives. I think nowadays what I would do is if I was doing that again, I would do them, but then I would, make sure that they're evergreen and available for other people to access, maybe a bit more specific in, certain trainings and just teaching people. At the end of the day, um, the other piece of the art of old school business is really all about education and teaching your customers, especially in an industry like spray tanning, where there is a ton of education that goes into the outcome of the service.
Yeah, because I mean, it's 50% you, and then what they do at home, how they prepped, how they take care of their tan is what their ultimate result is going to be, right?
Shannelle, at the end of the day, that falls on you though. I mean, I'm a big proponent of if your customer didn't have the tools, that's because you you failed at your job.
Yeah, you didn't educate them prior, and you didn't educate them after. Yeah. Another huge thing, just to like close this off, is like not being afraid to be vulnerable with your clients. Like if you're brand new and you did an awesome service and they love their tan, ask them to tell their friends. Why not? Ask them, hey, like, do you have 3 friends that would love to get spray tanned by me? I would love to give them X amount of discount. Some people don't think about it. You're not the center of someone's universe. And I think that's where we're so scared now to ask even for anything. But I know I want to see what women win. I want to refer all my beauty service providers to everyone because I've picked them because they're awesome. And if they ask me for anything, I would do it. But it's not always top of my mind. Not because I don't love them and want to support them, but the reminder sometimes can go a long way too.
Oh, yeah, just asking. I agree. I totally agree with that.
What old school ways do you grow your business? We want to know.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, until next time.
Episode 4 is coming up. Thanks for listening.